Right. We are going live again, and I'm waiting for the screen to come up to tell me that it's live because I always like to see that first.
Right.
But I am Stan Bush, and we're going live again with another broadcast to tell us more. Hey, Paul. Tell me that it's live. We're going to go live again with a broadcast about the what's going on with Dorian. Our mission is to connect people of similar interests who have similar interests. It's pretty open as far as topics. If you want to discuss politics and religion, that's fine. If you want to argue about it, then Fox and CNN and YouTube are the places that you need to be. We have no hate, no time, no way, zero tolerance. I'll broadcast and interview anybody who fits the mission statement, business or individual. Currently, we broadcast on Facebook, but we also plan to modify that and download and modify and send it on other networks. And you can expect event-focused, outcome-oriented, purpose-driven broadcast. And today, I'm going to be talking with Kim Evans, Ray Chambliss, and Josh Lambert. They are with PERT, the Patriot Emergency Response Team, and SECUR, Southeastern Citizen Seeker. You know, when I said that, I was like, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, but
You're going to seek out resources.
I know that's the thing. I always go seeker. That's a great thing. Now I will tell you that Josh is on the bottom down there. His iPhone does not show up because he's driving. He is actually well. First of all, let me ask you this. We'll start with Josh because sometimes, you know, in broadcast, the person that's driving in situations like this, they need to go ahead and get their thing done. So, Josh, who are you with?
I'm with First Emergency Response Team.
That's the Patriot Emergency Response Team. And what do you do?
I'm over all of ground operations.
He's the head of grounds operations. Is that right? Help him out if you guys can
Correct.
help him out with that. Son.
Yes.
Sound like, yeah.
Yeah. And he's actually he lives in Louisiana now, right?
Yes, I'm over all the ground. I do.
But he is. This is what's interesting. He is headed into the storm. He's not going away from it. He is heading into it. Is that right?
That is correct.
So tell me what you're expecting to see and do down there.
Oh, Josh, you got a really bad connection.
He's driving, and the weather's pretty bad. So it might.
I'm sorry, you break it up a little bit. What did you say?
I just
Yeah,
asked
Josh-
you what you were expecting down there.
Yeah, it's not the best connection here.
Yeah. So it's okay. It's okay. So why don't we do this? Why don't we switch with y'all? Try to answer some of the questions for him because I know that y'all can. All of y'all are a team. All of this is volunteer. Is that right?
It is. It's 100% volunteer, everything that we do. Seeker, the Georgia Weather, and also PERT is all volunteers that come together for a common purpose, which is to save lives, citizens helping citizens, neighbors helping neighbors. And, you know, it's all about doing for your community what you would expect them to do for you.
And if some of y'all watched this the other night, then you already know that the difference. One of the things about this group is that if they say it, then it's going to happen. Because it comes out of their pocket. Do what?
We're gonna try.
Yeah. It comes out of their pocket. They one of the things that they try to do is circumvent any excuses for things not getting done. So,
That's right.
So that is kind of what they're doing. So you want to tell us a little bit about Raymond, which is is directly below me. Is it Raymond or Ray?
You can call me either one.
All right, either one. Tell us about that. Tell us about what we're looking at here on the screen.
What we're looking at here is Dorian itself. She's kind of just sitting there, sitting still, not even moving. And as she sits there, she's actually losing a little bit of strength, which is a good thing. What I'm seeing it doing, see this high pressure up top here is keeping it pushed down. We're waiting for it. It actually looks like it's feeding off of it a little bit too. Wait, right in here you see it starting to pull some of that. moisture out of them clouds up there into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it also looks like it's trying to pull some out of the Gulf on this side over in here. So what
Can
it's
you
doing
can you go to the star satellite view?
I sure can. This
Yeah.
one right here, you can see the eye is well defined right there. Now it's starting to close up a little bit. And that means what is happening is the eye wall itself is tearing itself down and it's going to rebuild. And as it rebuilds, once it rebuilds, it's either going to probably lose more strength as it moves, obviously, because that's what they're predicting it to do. It's been losing strength since. And
There you go.
there you go. Thank you. But it's been losing strength ever since. And it's still a very dangerous storm. And the fact that really that should give anybody any little bit of comfort or hope at all is the fact we're going to be on the west side of this hurricane, because the east side is the worst place to be. That's where if it was on land, you'd have all your spin up tornadoes, and all your really straight line winds and your microbursts would come out of the east side of this, on this side over here. The west side, sorry, go ahead.
That's what Josh is driving into right now, are these east side winds?
Yeah, he should be in some rain right about now if he's anywhere near Daytona.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit. It's not. I mean, it's nothing too serious. But we are getting a little.
I'm not sure where about he's at, but I know exactly where he's at. But if I knew exactly where he's at, I could probably tell if it's raining or not.
I think he knows.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't even know exactly where I'm at. So.
Well, that's my story every day. So let me ask you, it sounds like your collection is a little bit better, Josh. So can you tell us if there's anything that you need or anything that somebody can help you guys with? Tell us what you're going to be doing down there and what we could do to help.
Well, I mean, the storm hasn't hit yet. So what we need is kind of up in the air. I mean, nobody really knows until it gets here, until it actually hits, until we know what we're facing. You know, whether we're going to need more medical supplies, or we're going to need, food and water, or tarps, or, I mean, it's really up in the air right now. I mean, the thing hasn't made landfall yet. We're seeing a little bit of water and a lot of wind, but we're not seeing anything to the point that we really know what we're actually needing.
And the last update from NHS, which was about 24 minutes ago, is it's still exactly stationary. It went from 26.8 to 26.9, but it's still 78.4, which it has been for several hours now.
What does that mean?
The longitude and latitude on the map.
Okay.
You're going west and north, longitude and latitudes west and north.
Mm-hmm. So it's moved further to the west, or it's moved further to the east?
Point one is, yeah, I mean, it's not even worth even mentioning at this time.
It's not even moving, actually. It's sitting stationary at this moment. And it won't move until that high pressure quits pushing down on it. Once that high pressure quits pushing it out of the way, it'll come on up.
What'd you say, Josh? It sounded like he said something like he didn't know or about that part of it or not, but
right.
But
well, think about it. When you're looking at the globe, you're going east and west around the globe, so you're traveling around. When you're going up and down north and south poles, you're going north and south. So right now it is sitting at 26.9 north, which is, well, I mean, it's pointed out right there, and at 78.4 west. And it has been at this position for several hours, I think going back to about the noon or 1 o'clock National Hurricane broadcast that they put out. It's not moving. And these are all now coming from the hurricane hunters. There are 2 different planes, I believe, that are flying in and out right now.
So the higher the numbers, the further the north it's going.
Correct.
And the higher the numbers, the further west it's going, right?
Correct.
So what
Correct.
we want it to do is to get the numbers higher and the numbers to get low. The first number to get higher, right? And actually, we want both numbers to get higher.
Either one of them. I mean, right now, just do something. But I mean, the Bahamas, poor people. I mean, God bless them. They're just getting hammered, and I don't know how much more they can take from what I've seen on TV.
Well, tell me.
Much.
Go ahead.
I said the Bahamas can't take much more.
No.
Yeah, from what I've seen of it, it's
total devastation.
Yeah, that's a sad situation.
148 miles an hour. Is that what it was?
Last night it was up around 200.
Was it?
Yeah, the report that I got was 160 sustained with 220 gusts. Regardless, I don't really know. Some things can be exact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that last update, what did I tell you, Stan, that it was?
29 something?
The speed, sustained winds were up around gusts at 170. They're sustained at about 145. Imagine driving down the road at 170 or 145 miles an hour. How it would feel if you stuck your hand out the window.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have one left.
Yeah.
Imagine what the rain feels like in that.
Yeah, and the sand, I mean, they are, they're an island.
Yeah. So how's it going to, when do y'all feel like it's going to hit? Where do you think it's going to hit first? And whoever's the most qualified on this, Raymond, let me ask you a question before I get too far off that on that subject. What is it that you do, and how is it that you've learned and you're qualified on this? Because I know that Kim, her thing is plotting them, and from what I understand, she likes to plot them. And what is it that you do?
What I do basically is I watch the radar. I watch these systems as they form. As I said earlier, we were watching one that's way off the African coast at the moment, building up. We're going to wait and see what happens with it. There's two other ones beside that one off the African coast that looks like they may do something. But how I got into it was back in 2017, January 22nd, when Albany, Georgia had an EF3 tornado come through. I started gathering supplies and made a lot of trips to Albany. Well, I met a friend of mine down there that got me involved with the weather. Well, that day I'll never forget, because that whole day I was on my Facebook, on my own personal page, making posts about tornado warnings and touchdowns in certain areas of the state of Georgia, where they were located and where they're going and what way they were headed. So it just kind of picked up from there. And what qualifies me to do what I do is the fact that I've taken classes through National Weather Service, and I am a registered storm spotter through National Weather Service. And I've just been doing this ever since then. I've been on several different storm teams, and they were really good teams. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about them, because they're great people. But I felt that I could be more of a help doing this on my own with the help of my spouse and people like Kim and Chris and our team that we've got arranged, that we've got made up. And ever since we've got together, we've got a lot of things accomplished, and we're still making strides forward, not only with just the weather, but as well as with emergency response, with Kim's creation of the new, Seeker page?
Seeker page.
Seeker page, yeah.
And then by us also partnering with a national organization like PERT, we're able to use resources that we have to help them in their efforts, since they are the actual boots on the ground right now going into the disaster zones. So any resources we have, we're using it to PERT's advantage, which is ultimately to the citizens' advantage. So I believe partnering with a radar guru like Raven is, and I'm telling you, he can plot these storms, to also partnering with PERT, which is a national organization, 501c3. They are they are the Patriot Emergency Response Team on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And I believe also patriotdispatch.com. Josh, is that correct? Patriotdispatch.com?
That is correct. Patriotdispatch.com.
Yes.
And, and the thing is, the guy asked about qualifications. As far as it is, everybody is a guessing game. We've never seen a storm of this magnitude in that area ever do anything like this one's doing. Ever. So this is new to everybody.
Right. But
it's pretty much a waiting game, a hoping and praying game.
Yeah, I think that's important to say that too, Josh, because there, as you said, hasn't been one of this magnitude. Everybody talks and points back to a couple that were big, but this thing, at least last night when I was looking at it, and the part about it slowing down, which is what I focused on, is the way it slowed down, means that the area that it's hitting is getting pounded seriously for a while, not just a couple of, for an hour or so.
In every situation, anytime I've ever seen a storm slow down, it's either grown or it's just completely devastated the area that it stopped on top of.
Right.
You know, and then it seems like if it slows down too much, for some reason they tend to shift directions.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's everything's up in the air.
When you're looking back at past hurricanes that were devastating, you're talking about Andrew, Katrina, Harvey, Michael, even going back to the mid 90s when you're talking Hugo and Irma and Gustav, that did a lot of damage. These storms were fast moving, they were predictable, they knew exactly where they were coming in, pretty much exactly where they were going to hit. With Michael, we knew where it was going. This is completely different.
I mean, if you really want to look at something that's stalled, look at Tropical Storm Isaac that came into Louisiana. And the only reason I say this is because I sat through it. Yeah,
Right.
Tropical storms, we get tons of them. This one stalled on top of Louisiana long enough to put 6 and 7 foot of water in places that Katrina never even flooded.
Exactly. You're right. I forgot about that one. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, when you're talking about a category 5, everybody thinks Andrew, they knew where it was coming. You're also talking about a time when storm predictions were not as technologically advanced as they are now. So,
even now it's a guessing game either way, because I mean they've been predicting this one to hit here and here and here, and all of a sudden now it's not even going to actually make landfall.
Right.
And it gets really, this is one of the most aggravating ones. And if you remember correctly, whenever I posted the disturbance of this particular storm, of Dorian, on the Georgia Weather and Watches page, or Wendy's and Watches, I made a post about that disturbance out there when it was off the coast of Africa, and I said, this is one that we're going to need to watch.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
that.
you said there was another one coming up behind this one.
Yes, it's still out off the coast of Africa right now, around the Cape Verde Islands. They're watching it very closely. I've been watching it ever since it popped up, I think, yesterday or day before. So it's just a disturbance at the moment, but I've got a good feeling that we probably need to really pay close attention to that one as well.
It's off screen.
Yeah, it's off screen, but it's looking at it, that view right there tells you just how big this storm is.
Yeah, this
Right.
thing's huge. And the thing about this one right here, it's not the wind so much as what's going to happen to do a lot of destruction. It's going to be a lot of flooding going along with it because it's moving so slow, kind of like Florence did with North Carolina and South Carolina. When Florence came in, she basically got over there and did what this one's doing, and it stalled. And it just kept dumping rain and dumping rain and dumping rain. Well, what's going to happen? The rain has nowhere to go. Once the rivers and the lakes and the streams and the creeks are full, it's going to go wherever it can. And that's what's going to happen with this one. This is not your typical come and go hurricane. This is going to be one that's going to it's going to be a week-long event, basically, all up the East Coast. Well, you got to think this thing's moving north, and when all this water starts coming down, which way is the water going to go? It's going to go to the south, any which way that it can to get it escaped.
Right.
Anybody in this path is going to be either hurt, killed, or have to be moved out. I mean, you just need to pay close attention to the amount of rainfall this is going to dump.
And we're talking about all the way from South Florida now, all the way up into past Cape Hatteras, north of Cape Hatteras, up onto the North Carolina, West Virginia border, just depending on what it does and where it actually makes landfall and sits.
Well, not everybody that is listening is from Georgia or from Middle Georgia, but what we probably should talk about is who they should contact. That is a great image right there, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a great image. But what we should probably talk about is what do they need to do? Is there anything that they need? Who to make some notes for
Right.
how to contact
Right
who
now,
and what?
because this is so widespread and because there are so many states and so many counties that are being affected, my advice right now would be to contact ready.gov. Put in your state. That will take you to all of the resources that are available for your state and for your area. I know with Georgia, it's georgia.ready.gov, and it will tell you which counties are under evacuations, which roads are going to be blocked. With Florida, same thing. It will give you which counties, what zones you're in. Be zone aware. If you're in an evacuation area, be zone aware. It will tell you routes that you need to take if you need to go further west inland, or if you should be going further south as this thing moves north. Because just because you're in Melbourne doesn't mean that you need to be going toward Lake City or Ocala. You need to be looking where it's going to go to see if you need to go down to the Keys. So be weather aware, know what your evacuation zone is. Ready.gov is probably going to be your best source as far as mass notifications. I know in Georgia right now, Stan, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I-16 from Savannah to Macon is going to be counterflow. They will be closing 16 going westbound. So if you have any dealings from Macon to Savannah, you're not going to be able to go east. I-95 exits will be completely shut down by the National Guard and the Georgia State Patrol. So if you're on I-95, you are not going to be able to exit anywhere from Florida going north, and then South Carolina would take over. But be weather aware, be zone aware, check your local weather stations, check your local ready.gov office and agency, and follow Seeker, because we are also posting updates, as is the Patriot Emergency Rescue Team.
What about
And another big thing is the people that do not evacuate. Okay, you know, there are going to be some places that are going to see a significant amount of water. You know, if you have to get into your attic, please cut a hole in the roof when you get up there, because by the time you think to cut a hole in the roof, it's usually too late.
I think we're losing him again.
Never go into the attic, basically is what he's saying.
Yeah.
If there's
Right.
potential for flooding, do not go to your attic. You get on the roof.
Unless you cut a hole in your roof.
If you have to get in your attic and you feel that that's a safer place than outside of your house, which, I mean, I can agree. You know, I would rather be in the attic than outside, getting pounded by rain or debris. Please cut a hole. It doesn't have to be above your head. Just cut a hole so you can get out. Because if the water comes up quick enough, by the time you think to cut a hole, it can be too late. And
Right.
I've seen it happen more times than once, and it's the worst thing to have to, you know, see, but it does happen.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things you guys do. That's what hence the name, the recovery. Is that right?
Yes. And, you know, and then another thing is we have PatriotEmergencyResponseTeam.org, where you can actually get in touch with our guys, and that you can actually, you know, put in requests for help for your families, even if you're not there and you need a welfare check. We do have people that go out and just do welfare checks on the families that stay.
That's right. On Patriot.
You know, and that's a 24-hour nationwide thing. So it's not,
It is.
you know.
PERT dispatch is where you can put in tickets for requests, correct, Josh? PERT dispatch, put in a
PatriotEmergencyResponseTeam.org.
.org. Okay.
PatriotResponseTeam.org. Okay, and then tell me a little bit about the
PatriotEmergencyResponseTeams.org.
Yeah, he has the website, Josh.
Okay.
Yep. And do you tell me what the Patriot? Where do y'all get your name from?
And, you know, everybody has their own little thing. You know, everybody's got their own little nicks and the way they call things. And a guy by the name of James Sash came up with that name because, you know, he's in for helping everybody, man. He's very patriotic, you know, Patriots of America and everything. He does a lot for veterans. You know, he does a lot for the U.S. soldiers, and he'll help anybody. And, you know, and he's an American patriot, man. He believes on helping anybody that is, you know, that needs it. Whether they can help themselves or not, he's there. And he just came up with that name, man. That's just how it all started.
Yeah. I think in our own way, we're all patriots in some way or another.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to do? Want to go over again tonight, or schedule a time when somebody can tune in, or do you want to tell them about, you know, maybe post in there? If you could do this would be great. Post on like take your emergency response stuff, right? If you could do that, that would be good, Kim. Just saying, here's where you go for this, because, and what you really want to know is like, what's going to happen? Because you never know with a storm. What if it turns in here? Or you don't ever know whether they're in middle Georgia or somebody in Carolinas. If it's somebody in Carolinas that's watching, then they want to know, like, what do I need to do? Or Florida. where they need to be listening.
I'll post up for you the links to the different states that are under watches and warnings right now for their ready.gov pages, as well as Seeker. I'll get those posted on there, and I'm sure Patriot Emergency Response Team will as well. I've got your webpage pulled up right now, Josh, is what everybody's looking at. I'll get those posted up onto yours and my page. And we are updating every time the National Hurricane Service puts out an update on nhc.noaa.gov. We're posting every broadcast, every advisory that they are sending out. So you can follow Seeker, SECCER, on Facebook under groups, or the Patriot Emergency Response Team. But for weather updates, Georgia Weather Watches and Warnings on Facebook as well. That was in your last broadcast, the link there.
Also, too, not only do we do the weather, I've been contacted by 3 other organizations, as well as trying to get supplies down and collected and ready for transport just as soon as this is over with. So not only do we do the Georgia Weather now, we work with Kim, with Secker, and any other nonprofit organization that we can work with to actually get supplies down there. Just got back from Jacksonville, Florida Saturday, rescuing 24 cats that were in danger of losing their lives. So, I mean, this is what we do. We're not just a weather team. We're not just a weather people. We're humanitarians as well. I mean, we reach out and help who we can help. I've had many calls from other states, from South Carolina, North Carolina, on down from even to Florida, about this storm already, asking me what did I think this, what do I feel about this. But I've got a lot of people that depend on me, and I don't know how it all happened like that, but I've been doing the best I could do, and usually I'm pretty well on point with what I say is going to usually happen. And if I do miss it, it's just by a notch or two. So it's not, I'm not perfect by any means. I don't walk on water, but I do what I can do the best I can.
That's what I was telling Stan last time when I was on here, was that I'm not a meteorologist. I don't claim to be. I do kind of think of myself as a forecaster based on experience only.
Yeah.
I consider myself an armchair meteorologist.
Yeah, it's important to know that what you guys do, or y'all are the ones that when somebody should reach out to you when they don't know anywhere else to go. I'm not saying you're the last resort, but it's like we don't know what we're supposed to do here.
Your first resort should be 911. If 911s are up and running, you dial 911. That's your first response. Mm-hmm. If 911's lines are down, that's what we're here for.
Got it. All right, so we're gonna cut it off for tonight. What y'all guys think? Y'all got anything else y'all want to cover tonight?
If you stand, just be weather aware. Watch where you are. Watch what your evacuation zones are. Look for this thing to turn. It is going to turn. It is going to start coming up the coast here in the next 24 hours.
That's it.
And what about you, Josh?
Josh is still there?
I don't know if I think he's still there, but just in case you don't know, Josh, what everybody's going to be wanting to see is you standing out in the middle of that weather. Like they want to see you out there in the middle of that weather. That's what they want to see, with the weather, with that wind, standing against that 145 mile an hour wind.
Well, I can tell you right now, we'll do what we can to help people out in the weather like that. But personally, I don't want anybody out in that weather, much less myself.
That is very true. Every time I see those guys, I think, wow, I went through.
If you can stand on the top of a car in 140 mile an hour winds, then you're a bad person. But I'm gonna tell you, I really don't want to take my chances.
Well, actually, we both know that you really can't do that unless you got
That's
some
correct.
kind of boots or something.
Your name is not Evil Knievel.
No,
you do not have a brace.
No. So peace, love, and understanding. We will see you guys down the road. You guys hang with me, and we'll cover a couple of things before we get off.
All right, thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Bye. See you, Josh.
All right, guys. Well, I'm getting off of here to get back to driving. But y'all have a good night. Nice talking.
You too. I'll probably be talking to you later as you go on as dispatch.